All right, so I mean, I'm thinking we want to cut this out so we have the. Oh, I didn't click that right at all. Is that it? Oh, yeah, we can. Oh, except the problem is how's that going to look on that blue? Why didn't you guys screwed up? You want me to show you the logo first? So what kind of crap are we dealing with here? All right, so I was like, well, that's not going to look good. What happened? Yeah, look at that. I missed my calling. What happened? No, I got most of it already. I just have to use little slivers. What do you mean? Oh, is this good? Yeah, don't do that one. Ooh. Oh. I think that one's already done. Although we could keep, oh no, that's not going to look right. I was going to say we could put the, we could make this white, the block lettering, but that's going to screw up the eye then. So let's see, did I get all the,
You know who made the logo for him?
I have no idea.
Because it'd be easy if you could just give him the colors that we're using.
Yeah, but it might not look like an eye anymore. Then it might look, the logo might look even stupider. So here, let's just do, it doesn't feel right to even say it. Eyelash. And we're going to put this. What's up?
Well, when you initially read the name, eyelash, it's
Stupid.
like lash is a verb, like you're gonna lash somebody. That's what the company does.
Well, what makes sense? Isn't that what the company does?
Yeah.
What do you think, old Alex? You don't like it? You don't like the logo?
That's okay. You don't have to. Sci-fi.
What are we talking about? Oh, that's right. But check this out. Look how nice that looks. Now it's dead to us. But actually, hold on. We might be able to mess with the CSS a little bit and just change the background colors. So we might be able to just lighten it, but enough to see the logo. Let's see here. What happened?
Steal the CSS from my senior site.
Oh, you like it? This specific one, or? Yeah, here's the background color. So we just need to do a color picker. We'll come back in case we have to steal one of these. Color picker. Maybe like a pink. A hot pink. I mean, it's got eyelashes. You don't think that makes sense? I think that makes tons of sense. Oh, you did? What's it? Background. Oh man, with this gradient, that's going to be so much stuff is going to change. All right, hold on. Let's go back to this page. It will look okay on this. I want to do something here. Let's go back to this page. And then I want to open up. Oh, that was the image right there. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see that. All right, so we gotta go back and pick a different one. So with the logo in mind, do we do a pretty much a white? Go back to the green. Oh, it'd look good on my orange, wouldn't it? See, kind of like fire eyes, the orange. It would pop. No, no. Okay. No. I mean, this is like a pretty simple login, but maybe that's okay. Maybe just don't overdo it. Keep it simple. There's a green button like a, what is that, like a cloth background? That looks dumb. We're not doing that. Maybe the purple? Probably wouldn't look bad on that. But we might be best to stick with one of the really light ones. So like that one's not bad. You really don't like this one? With that, oh, it's not gonna. Yeah, I can't tell. Like in my mind, I think it looked cool with the orange coming through. It certainly take away some of the, I don't know, femininity. I mean, the logo is kind of feminine, isn't it? I mean, those lashes are long.
Yeah.
You can actually take this logo right here and make it the eye. All right, what's the feedback? Do we do the orangey thing, or do we keep it plainer, like one of these light ones? I would say this one looks.
All the white ones in there just aren't good.
So we can go to different. We can go to a different site. We go to a different site. Login form templates. Pretty simple, this one. Is that bad? It's like that other one, except the other orange one is good. I mean, we can go with something like this, and then in the background blur, replace that with like half snow, half like, I don't know, like grass. Like take two pictures, like lawn and like, you know, blizzard type thing, and put them together so you have snow and grass in the background with the login thing, and then put the logo like right here. You feeling that? The question is, do we have the skills? I think maybe. Wait, hold on. This just says demo. All the other ones have logins. What's my demo of that? More info. Oh, here. Download template. I don't want to donate anything. I can't afford anything.
Download template.
Ah, nailed it.
It's still gonna have like some black something or other set in it. I don't know.
It's gonna have what?
I don't know. It's gonna have something on it that we probably don't want. Just let you know. Since we didn't donate.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't look bad. All right, so I guess let's I don't know what that one is. Okay, and how big is this? 728 by 468, because that's the background to it, right? Oh, it opened up in Safari. Yeah, that's the background. So if we let's start off by getting that whole thing as like a lawn. So let's look at like just do lawn mowing. See if we get search tools, size, large, so we get a bigger. This could work because then you have the lawnmower on half of it. It'd be kind of blurred out, but people probably could see it. Okay. So this guy is 468 by 728. So let's get this guy 468 tall. Oh, it's actually just about perfect. I doubt we'll notice that as a, yeah, it was fine. Well, so those guys have already been pre-blurred though. If I do that. Oh, was it not? I thought I made it tall enough. Oh, clearly. Oh, yeah. Actually, maybe that's not bad. I mean, happy mistake. Hold on. Did it not take? There we go. Why is some of it still down there?
Inspect the HTML.
Do you think it's resizing it in the HTML? Well, let's just go ahead and get it into our project. I think we can work with this one. So this is, let's copy this, and then let's get into this. Snowman. So we need to get rid of that, and get rid of that, and get rid of that. And the rest of it is our stuff. Merge it because all we have is our eyelash in there. That looks better. Actually, it looks kind of legit. I think so, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking, don't even screw with it with the snow. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to get any better than this. I suppose what we could do is have on a JavaScript thing like a timer where it flips back and forth between this and like a snow background.
Yeah.
Um,
Like a street with plowed snow or something like that.
I'm thinking I kind of like this look, like the equivalent of like a snowblower on the other side.
Sure, yeah.
So let's see what that looks like. Let's I just started dry heaving. I couldn't help it. I don't even know where that came from. Ay. Okay. Snowblower. Let's do the size large. That could be kind of cool. I think. Just view image. All right, we'll call this guy. Well, actually, that's fine. We'll call it that for now. I'm going to open that. Here's the BG we had open. So I'm going to call this BG Snow once we get this guy in there. So this guy is, so the size of this is 728 wide. Hey, this is pretty short though, so let's see what happens if I select the whole thing, paste it on here. Might be a little, I think that's probably too big. So let's adjust size. Let's go down to 1400. What's the height of this one? Just size 468. So we could actually just go the other direction. Just size 468. Select all. I don't even get that. size of both is 468. It says 468. Adjust size. Adjust size, I guess what, make it like 600 or something? Maybe like that. Looks like it could be legit. And then let's export. What do I call this guy? BG Snow. .jpg. So now we go in here. Let's kill that one. Well, at least this is a much simpler looking setup. We didn't see that copyright because we're changing it. It's not. It's a whole different thing. All right, hold. Where's our BG? What does mem2 look like? Oh, good. We can replace that with our eyelash thing. Where does the background come in? It's got to be a CSS. Let's look at style CSS. They actually linking the image in here. Yep, right there. Background URL. Yeah, so with that in mind, we could actually make it larger. Let's see what this looks like. So this should now be the snow version. So that one looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I think both of those like better than it should, right? All right, we'll figure out how to flip-flop them later. Let's just leave it at that. Let's get the eyelash thing in there, I guess. So it's just weird. All right, so this is index. We'll save this, and we called it, what, eyelash logo. I think ours was a PNG. Okay, so now we just need to get it. I mean, really, that doesn't look horrible. We just need to get it moved down, and I guess I expected it.
Cropping a little bit of it too.
Yeah, it's because of it's the class.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if we take that out, I'm not going to spend too long on that part. It could be a lot worse, right? Probably passable for right now. And with that in mind, we can probably take this out of that div, which should then give us some, close that gap a little bit. That should close. Well, I expected this to close down. So with that in mind, why don't we just do this? What does that do? Boom. Oh, it's not. It's got its eye on you. It's bad. Oh, message received. Great. Yeah. Good.
That might help.
I don't think that did anything, did it?
No.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. That looks much better.
It's a non-breaking space. You like fake it. All right. And we'll have to probably get rid of the remember me thing. So we're kind of doing that regardless.
Yeah.
I guess we could just leave it on for right now. Well, it doesn't even click anyways. So we'll get rid of it. Oh, it's actually just a label. Oh, it's got a checkbox in it. So we should be able to get rid of that. Save that. And then center this one probably. Which means we would probably just take that guy. Move it outside of that container. Before I get rid of the container, let's just make sure that looks right. That doesn't look close to right. This guy throwing it off? That's weird. Guess we could do it in its own list item. Ooh. Okay, now, well, I don't think that's not any better. Why is that? Right justified like that? The sign in. I wanted it centered. We need to do the style align. Oh, we can div align it. That might be handy. Oh, let's take out this align thing I have in there. I don't even know why that would be indented, regardless. Or actually, everything's lined up to the right. I bet you it's part of the style sheet for this class login form. Yeah, I bet you if I kill this, everything looks terrible. Yeah. Perfect. So we should leave that. All right, so that means that I need to so that login form class with 32 margin auto, oh, its position is relative. CSS position. I'm going to say for now we should just leave it. This looks okay. And we'll come back and mess with it. I'm sure we can get it laid out differently, but it's going to make the rest of this look like garbage. All right, so let's get this talking to our thing now. All right, so we need to bring all these scripts in. I actually put them underneath the HTML, but you can put them. set the title for this guy. Oh. And then we have our div for our controller. All right. Then we have our username and our password model. It's username. Password. And then the button. All right, working theory is that should let us log in now. Well, that's actually interesting. Blur. Oh, is it just when you hover over it, does it tell you what that should be?
No, it was there before.
Maybe the NG model supersedes that, or does the model need to come after the class? I don't think that's like a deal breaker. We're only going to spend a minute looking at that.
What's this dot value? What's that for?
Oh, this is if you hover over it, it does a, that's where it turns it blue. So this zeroes it out, the value of it. So on focus, if you hover over it, whatever was in there, it zeroes out. So I think this was supposed to be the placeholder thing.
Placeholder's the value.
All right, let's just leave it like that for a second. Now username is back.
The value up top, value equals.
Well, this is where it came with the username.
Or is it the text? The value.
Who?
Next to class text value equals username. Is that what that is? The placeholder?
Yes. I wonder if yeah, see the issue is that it is working, but because this is bound to the username model, username currently has nothing in it. So it's binding, the binding is superseding the highlighting. Because Angular's whole job is to, if we have a variable that has something in it, it overwrites the box with that. So we might not be able to get around it, at least not without screwing with it for a while. I'd say we just leave it. All right, so let's do user1 at user.com, and then ABC123, then sign in. That's weird that it shows this. Yeah, it logged in, but it's not showing us our stuff over here. Model's username. So with that in mind, we can probably remove a bunch of this other stuff, but we'll leave it for now, I guess. Get the value out of there for both of these. Click goes to login, and we do have this guy under our controller. So it's login form, ng app my app, controller form controller. We can actually probably do this on the controller itself, but it shouldn't make a difference. In the form itself, rather. Those should both do the same thing. And let's just make sure it's calling our login. Here's our form controller, console.log here. What? Here's our controllers, index controller. That was an old one we had open there. Console.log here. Alright, so do we still have our console open here? That's right click, inspect, console. Alright, reload this. We'll go ahead and log in, user1 at user.com, add UBC123. Okay. Login redirect controller.js, file not found. Oh, I know exactly why. Remember earlier when I changed controllers to say from scripts to controllers? I didn't change it in very many places. So, yeah. I think that was because Yenter started babbling about something. Hold on, we changed it there. Let's get most of these things closed because so that's going to controllers. And then home is going to controllers. Oh, there it is. So was I think I may have changed it in the wrong file. And then overwrote the file when I just hit save on one of the screens. Or actually, it probably was I changed it but never saved the file. That's probably what it actually was. So I visually changed it but didn't save it. Okay. So this guy looks decent. we'll worry about what this screen maybe looks like later. It actually looks pretty legit for us. I'm pretty impressed by that, actually. It should be a lot worse than that. is the reality. Actually, we could see at some point how it looks, but we might be able to do the half thing and not have it look horrible.
I was thinking with the one with the mower that was going, the long grass should be the grass with the mower. On the other side, you could edit it to be snow. So it comes back on the other side.
What?
So one of the first pictures that you had or whatever was the mower that had like a
Yeah.
grass and then long grass on the other side that the mower is going.
I thought we changed this to.
Lawn mowing.
I thought we had BG Snow. Oh, actually, I think this is it.
Yeah, that one in the top right.
No, that's our.
I know.
That's not the picture. That's just that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, hold on, we need to do. This is the picture.
Like when it was zoomed out earlier with the whole mower, you could see that strip more. And if the shortened grass where it was cut already, that I think you could put that as snow, and I think that would look good.
Yeah. You might be right. I would say let's leave it for now. I think we've outdone ourselves actually with this. Just know thyself, isn't what they say? Okay, so we're logged in. Now, when you first come into the system, so now we have the ability to toggle. So let's get back in there and let's look at this from a user's perspective. So let's work on the user interface initially. So we're going to see okay. So when a user first comes in, they should be able to see the current jobs that are coming in and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and edit our code to have an entire section for user so we can have the different things show up here. So this is home here. All right, and we're going to welcome everybody and give everybody a log out. So that's fine. Then we want to go ahead, we want to create a div. I'll just copy this whole thing and then we're going to have this section for the user. And we'll get rid of that there. And then I need to do a closing div down here. And then everything in the middle I can indent. Oh. Whoa. There we go. Okay. How do you unindent? Is it Shift Tab? Yep, Shift Tab. Okay. So if we're a user, we're going to show service name, Pending requests, no provider. And then incomplete jobs. It's who? Oh, well, we just need to get the all these other things out. Okay, so this is what we'll do if we're dealing with a user role. And then let's kick this down here. Provider, and then admin. We'll keep these all on this page for right now. All right, and then let me see something here. Maybe we just need to do a frame. I thought those were... Oh, no, they're good. I didn't think those were allowed anymore. So I'm going to create a new file in here. And we're going to call this guy user.html. Actually, do I need to? Yeah, it looks like it does, except that's not how you save it, is user.html. And I'm going to go back here to home. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a frame source equals. And we'll do our ngIf in that. And then all this stuff is related to a user. Let's kill it from there. We'll put it in here. Let's see how broken that is. I don't think I do for a frame. Because you're not actually loading a whole HTML document. It's, think of a frame as saying, that actually worked, didn't it? It looked like it did. That's pretty legit. So think of it as a placeholder. So here inside of home, right here, I said all the user stuff goes in that frame. And this frame only shows if the user's role is equal to user. So then I'll do the same thing for a provider. I'm going to steal this frame. Provider, admin. Right. But we will need to
So inside the user or .html, do you not have if role then? So if you go to the
I don't think we'll need to because it's already in the scope. Because imagine that this code right here actually gets embedded here. It's as if we wrote it here. We're just kind of modularizing our project. My concern is, though, what if somebody goes directly to user.html? We might have to put the security measure, the login redirect, in there. We'll try that here. So that's admin provider. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this out of here, and this will go into our provider one. This is going to be provider.html. Right now we'll just paste that in there, and why don't we just say h1 provider, and then we're going to have an admin. Taking a dump?
I'm getting a drink.
Oh, it's recorded. Christian worldview. This is admin.html, and we'll paste the admin stuff in there. And this is h1 admin. Welcome back. What happened?
He's using my chair as a footstool.
Oh. All right, so let's make sure that those frame redirects work the way we expected them to work. It's a disaster. So we cannot put the roles on there. If I take this roll out there, it should show up for that user. What? I thought we saw that it worked. User.html. What's up? Yeah, and when I originally searched, oh, you heard me say it. I said I didn't think it was supported anymore. Yeah, so. All right, so what can we do? Let's do HTML5 frame. We want the equivalent of that. Was that it? Is it just an iframe? Okay. That's what makes you happy. I'm lost. Home. That work? Good goofy, bad goofy. Oh, well, at least that's good. Oh, that's perfect. How's-
Scrolls.
Huh?
It scrolls.
Does it? It doesn't scroll. Oh yeah, if I. So that's just, we just need to set iframe parameters and probably get the. Although, can we set the source of a div? That's really kind of what I wanted. Oh, totally not on purpose.
Force of habit.
I was a little tired from, I did a bunch of searching earlier. Like, what? What? Man, so all the written phrasing for nothing. All right. So let's look at iframes here. Everybody supports it. All right, so we can set frame border to 0. At the very least. Okay, so that makes that part look not as bad. Okay, so now we need to deal with the rest of the settings. Scrolling is auto by default. So let's look at iframe width of content. Oh, we looks like we do a height 100%, width 100%. It's actually a CSS style, but it should work fine. All right, that looks like well, it sort of looks like what we want. One, two, three. Well, it looks right, but we don't have our scope. So do we have a user? I think we're okay.
In the div, do it with the app. We don't have, I mean, in the.
I think we just need, not the app, I think we need to have a controller for this, which should, I'm hoping.
We can connect it to one of the other ones that we have already.
I'm hoping it'll, because what it seems like is happening here is I've advertised it as this guy right here literally gets replaced with the code from the other screen, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Oh, actually, hold on. We might be able to make it the case, though, if we give this guy let's see if we can have this show up only if we're dealing with a user. Let's see if he's aware of Angular. Because if we can conditionally show this frame, then the feeling would be he might have access to the scope. Okay, well let's log out then. And come back in as provider dot or at user.com and ABC123. So we should see provider, but not that other stuff now. Okay. Oh, actually, it is. Yeah, right. So we need to steal the rest of, actually just steal up to this. And this is provider. And then up to this. And that is admin. Okay. Let's refresh this. Okay, there's the provider screen. Good. So that guy is at least Angular aware. So that probably means then that we could go in and have a controller for our user. So let's I'm just going to steal everything that's in here for the moment. And we're going to call this guy user controller.js. We'll paste all that stuff in there. And this guy's going to be called user controller, and then we'll put that in the top div of user.html. And then what I'm going to do here is just do a console.log auth data, proving we have access to all that crap. All right. So that's my user controller. I go back in here to we're going to embed this in our top div in user. Okay. So now when we go to that user page, it should show our auth data in the console. So I need to log out first. User1 at user.com. ABC123. Sign in. Totally not. All right, perfect. So I was really expecting it to work exactly like this. let's see, what if we do this? Give that guy a new, actually, hold on, I don't want to do it there. Can we give this iframe a controller? The issue here is, are iframes like almost perfect, but not quite perfect? It does not like that. Let's try something here. So if I come into back to the provider and stuff next time. User controller, content controller, index controller. I'm going to steal all that and we're going to put it into the user controller. Let's see if we can re-grab the scope. Racing?
We'll allow it.
Well, I'll allow it. So this will tell us how the scope works. If I go into that second page, so I have two options here. I'm going to either try to get the scope back, like it seemed like we lost access to the app, or I'll just create a user app. So it's an app within the app that has its own controllers. And if we're in, so the problem is that I think an iframe is what I want. Here, just before we go too far down this, iframe alternative. This guy says we can embed. Let me switch this back to what I had before I do anything else. It said I can embed let's try that. Let's log out. Yeah, the embed didn't make a difference. Okay, so here's an option. This is something just called yeah, so iframe is for cross-domain content. So that means if I was pulling stuff in from a different website somewhere, iframes would be good. Let's try this link thing. And this would just be user.html. That. And then let's take this first frame out. So that, what do they call that? They call that HTML5 web components. Never heard of them. All right. Imported resource from origin has been blocked from loading by cross-origin resource sharing. Invalid response. Okay, well, we might be using this wrong. We'll just take that part out. Right, we didn't scream that time. Let's take this part out and just load it regardless. We can always throw it inside of a div. It doesn't look like it needs one. HTML5 link tag. Let's see what that guy is. Oh, that's just for linking to an external document. It doesn't really. HTML5 web components. Let's just search for that. CSS tricks. Frame. So we can use this object thing and then set the data equal to something. So let's try that. Object, data, and then it's embedding inside the object. So what's the purpose of the embed then? Let's try this without the embed first. Okay, well that embedded it, but it did not pass the this guy didn't have access to stuff. User.html. Oh, hold on, this guy's currently not. Oh, that's right. We wouldn't do it inside of. So I can now give the, so he doesn't automatically get access to the stuff, which then implies he probably wouldn't get. Well, I was trying to avoid that. This, I think, is showing us that with this embed object thing, we're not getting, it's not putting it in there inside the same scope. So let's go and try what I was trying to do anyways, which actually might be better. Because we can certainly, if we wanted to, put everything in here, but it seems to me that that these iframes make it look cleaner and will be easier to manage. Let's just make sure we're back in business. We just lose our scope. All right, so this looks the way it's supposed to look. We just don't have our scope. So then if we come into install this, so we're going to do version 1 of this, is we're going to try to hijack the scope again. And we call this guy user controller. And we can just dump the rest of this, and we'll just console here. And then let's see, on the user side of things, actually, let's not put app in right now. We're just going to call this user controller. Let's see if it assumes it. User controller there. No. So now we'll put the app part in. Although, what's interesting is it didn't. User controller. Oh. I think I have a theory. It's an amazing theory. And I'm 100% positive it will work. All right. I think I need all those scripts over here. Even though we don't have the HTML, this guy uses NG models and stuff like that, and it appears like it's trying to process that page external. It doesn't bring it in and then process it. It processes it and then brings it in. So it's possible our scope is still there. He just didn't know how to deal with those things. That's why we got all of those, you know, just the curly brace stuff. Okay, so that didn't make it worse. So that, let's see, can we just bounce in here and say that this guy still falls underneath content controller? Seems reasonable-ish. I think we're going to have to do our own. This will be user controller. And this will be ng app is equal to user app. And we'll go ahead and from our content controller, so we'll just move our content controller in here to our user controller. We'll need a new ref and a new auth data because we're kind of starting over. And we'll set our role again. And then we should fill in those guys. So then in user HTML, I'm guessing since it's processing this entire thing, well, let's try to do it just as a div, but I think we'll have to do the whole site. So this is called user app. This is called user controller. Like that. All right, so iframe, we say go ahead and bring us to user.html. User.html brings in all the scripts like we would do on a normal page. We say this guy is the user app using user controller, which is this guy right here. He's user app, user controller, which should do all the stuff we used to do. So it's redoing some of the work. But the theory is, so do we have to do it inside of an HTML just like we have here? I think we might. Just steal all of this. And I realize we're pretty much done. Let me just see if I can get this at a decent stopping point since we are right at the end of testing here. That user home, and it's user app, user controller, and then the body is there, slash body, slash HTML for right now. Save that. So this is an entire page we're asking it to render and then embed. And this should be the user controller stuff. Okay. I wonder why that is not replacing those things. Actually, aren't we already doing that in our user controller? Here, let's console log auth data. See, it's not even getting into that controller. Is there something broken on this page? Here's Ajax. Firebase, login redirect, content controller. Probably don't need the content controller, but it's not hurting anything up here. Oh. Ah, thank you. Well, hey, that's better than what I wrote earlier. All right, so it appears like we are embedding into we're dividing everything out now. So I would say what probably makes the most sense for your homework, everybody for this week, you've turned in the project you want to work on. So I would say most productive would be facelift your login page like we did. Let's get a reasonable login page. So kind of take the same steps we did here and then modularize your code. So I would say in terms of new functionality, you don't have to add new functionality because actually you have functionality in yours that's beyond what we currently have, right? We haven't put those buttons in there. So I think it would be a good practice this week to get your project modularized like we did tonight. That way you're in a position to keep building up. So what I'll expect you to submit is a screenshot of your improved login page. Let's go that route. And then how about also a screenshot of your new directory structure, showing me that you've gone through and done the reorganization and that stuff. Make sense? So basically what we did tonight in terms of, so I think this was actually pretty beneficial in the end. We learned some about how the object-orientedness of Angular works, and I guess how to ghetto rig iframes. Is that? I'm not sure if there's a better way of doing it or not, but I guess whatever. All right, I will see everybody. I'll put the assignment up here in a few minutes, but I'll see everybody next Monday.